Hi everyone, Murdoch here. Hope you're well. Now this video is to go out to a gentleman by the name of Terry Warner. Terry's a senior golfer, 75 years old. I'm not sure if Terry's in England. I'm in England, but it's regarding losing your striking during the winter months, and I want to explain how this happens, a good common way on how it happens, and so any other senior golfers that watch, this might be something that can relate to you as well. So Terry's saying he's lost his strike. Now the first thing to factor in winter golf is the layers you're wearing. It's colder. Already we struggle with mobility when we get older, and obviously a big part of good striking and distance, transferring the weight, getting ball turf striking, is hip rotation. So when this suffers from wearing the layers, being cold and not having that same range of motion, the body slows down, and then your arms start to pick up and try and overwork to compensate from the body's lack of work. So then we start mistiming it. We feel exhausted come up the back nine and towards the end of the round because our little muscles in our hands and arms are overworked. So what you need to do first is remember you're restricted. At best you're going to do a smaller shoulder turn than you would in summertime because of the layers. That's if we have the same range of motion. The layers are holding us back. So warm up properly, that's the first thing. Warm up properly in the correct angles so you get confidence in your range of motion on the day. So what I mean by warming up properly, I do lots of videos that touch on this subject. That's bending forward, club on your shoulders, and feel like you're swinging the club in this fashion here. It's not standing tall and kind of lapsadaisical about your warm-up, and I see so many people on the tee doing this. You've got to create the angles, feel the load, try and get one end of the club to point in the direction of the ball on the ground. That approaches the full turn. Then the important one, think of the left hip clearing. Clear, 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 to try and get the other end of the club pointing down. Now, narrow your stance a little bit too, if you feel like you are restricted. Remember, our driver requires the biggest turn we can do, both back and through, to be able to release and feel free through the ball. So driver can often stay in the bag in winter time. We don't have the mobility and we don't have the turn capability, and the colder weather, everything slows down, so put the driver away. A 3 would work really well. Maybe even a strong hybrid off the tee. Get your confidence to stay there at the top by hitting these 3 woods and hybrids off the tee. Now, if it's iron striking, let's focus on impact and work backwards from there. So you've warmed up. If you like hitting golf balls, then I suggest you do this. Put them in front of you and grab a lofted club, 8 or a 9 iron, go down the handle, narrow the stance a little bit, and just think for a moment, pause and think for a moment about impact. For a ball, then divot, strike, where would you be? You'd open the left hip, you'd feel that the weight is coming off the right side and propelling onto the left in order for you to have that descending blow on the ball and divot afterwards. So you can see the importance of warming up that left hip in various drills. So that's the concept. That becomes your focus. In order for you to achieve this impact, you have to think clearing the hip. That's why we've narrowed the stance a bit to make it possible for you. Start with a 9 iron, 8 iron and work back into the 7 irons and 6 irons and longer once you feel like you got the strike back. Now, when the body becomes cold and is wrapped up in all these layers, it doesn't turn as much, so the hands and arms will start slapping it. So this is what you're probably in when you're mishitting it. So when you're making this drill, and whether you want to do it in practice swings, hitting that broken tee, just little swings like this where you feel the freedom coming here, I want you to commit to the contact. Don't care where it goes at all. you're understanding the range of motion that's required, and you're warming yourself up appropriately. That's the number one thing. Number two is that feeling with a committal to the strike. Ball turf, right out the middle, committed, no care attitude. That's the goal. So when you go play, I want you to try and have 5 of these committed, beautiful strikes. That's the mission. Don't worry about direction, don't worry about distance. Distance will come from quality of contact, and obviously the fun aspect will be there because you're hitting it well. But like I said, I'm in England. Look at the ground. The ground's awful. The course daily inspections to decide whether we're open or not. So we're faced with that in England, as well as the cold weather. So it's challenging even after a pick and place lie. So don't be hard on yourself. I've got a lovely video of replacing your 5 and 6 iron with a hybrid, maybe even your 7 iron with a down the handle hybrid. This is another little tip and a video I suggest you watch to utilize winter golf. So I hope that works. I hope that helps, and I hope a number of you can benefit from this. Any comments, I welcome them down below. Any suggestions for videos? What are you struggling with? I'll be happy to make one for you too. Please put a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.